Let's begin this hour in Abuja, where President Bola Tinubu is scheduled to meet with opposition National Assembly Lawmakers-Elect on Thursday ahead of the inauguration of the 10th National Assembly. Recall that President Bola Tinubu was earlier scheduled to hold talks with senators and House of Representatives, the members from opposition political parties, on Monday. Although there is no clear indication about what the purpose of the meeting with opposition lawmakers will be. It comes just a few days to the inauguration of the 10th National Assembly. President Bola Tinubu looks forward to a harmonious working relationship with the National Assembly, and this may just be a part of the process of improving the relationship with the legislature. Joining me now to speak on the 10th National Assembly and the race for the Senate President is President Arewa Youth Consultative Forum, Yerima Shettima. Thank you so much for joining us on the Midday News.
Okay.
Right, Mr. Shettima, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Right, great. So, as the 9th Assembly wraps up in a few days, there have been much talks about who leads the 10th Senate. Where does AYCF stand?
Well, we have made our position known a few days ago in Kaduna, where we make our position very clear that with the look of things, don't forget that the country is in dire need of somebody, a leader who will unite the country to move the country forward. And as a result of that, some of us resolve unanimously that there is a need for us to look at issue critically, especially when it has to do with the 10th National Assembly. Let us make it look more unifying because Nigeria belongs to all. When you have a situation where we find ourselves, where already from the onset we have a Muslim as number one, number two, it won't be a bad idea also to consider the South. Specifically the South is where there's much agitations and where a lot of them over time they've been claiming of being marginalized. Let us consider one of their own to lead the 10th National Assembly at the level of Senate President. And that position has been made very clear in the spirit of equity, fairness, and justice for all. That was our position.
The question of balance has surfaced again, and some are of the opinion that the Senate should be led by a Southerner, while others believe only a competent lawmaker should emerge regardless of region. Where do you stand?
Well, if you talk about competency, I don't understand competency. Competency, you have somebody who has been a governor for 80 years as a governor. And subsequently, he's almost at the ranking of the National Assembly, the Senate. He's almost the third person, that's the chief whip. So to that extent, if you talk about competence, I think Ojo Zokalu from the South is qualified. And this is how we can make a country. This is how we can make a country become more progressive. We have to move forward. We cannot continue. This government of the day, if we make mistake and we make it look as if some section of the country are more greater than other sections of the country, but not wishing the country well, then there will never be peace. Then we are going to run into more calamity. And I hope we don't do it because the country cannot stand anymore. Look at the issue of insecurity. Look at the situations we have today, the issue of insecurity, the challenge here and there that have made the country. Look at the inflation everywhere. Look at the poverty across the book. Look at how Nigerians are living so poor. An attempt to give room, then you can be rest assured that people will take advantage of that to cause more harm for the country. And I do not think this government of the day is prepared to go through that. So let us make it clear. Let us do it right so that at the end of the day, every citizen of this country will have a common sense of belonging so that we can be treated equally. That at the end of the day, there will be peace. This agitation will drop drastically.
Right. Very quickly, let me butt in. Talking about equality, what region do you have in mind? What region are you advocating?
I have Southeast in mind because over time there's these agitations of being marginalized and so on and so forth. So it won't be a bad idea since we have people from the same ruling parties and they have dedicated their time and they've worked, they've shown their level of commitment to the ruling party. Let us consider one of their own and make him the Senate President. So on that basis, I'm not saying they are not qualified. I'm not also saying that Senator Yari is not qualified. But in spirit of equity, fairness, and justice for the country, let there be peace. Let the Southeast produce the next Senate President. I'm in Northern Land. Yes.
So, well, in a case where there are more than one candidate from, your preferred region, which is Southeast that you mentioned, will this not disadvantage their chances as they may have to share their votes?
I do not think there's anybody who has come forward that asked for that president, because for God's sake, we need peace for once so that we don't end up. Only recently we had the case of Sudan. There's agitation and suddenly it becomes a full-blown war. Today, as I speak with you, there's issue of Senegal. Look at what the Senegal are going through, almost running into war. I do not think Nigerians have that shock to sustain anything that will lead us to another trouble now. So let us just look at it in the spirit of equity, in the spirit of peace, love for the country. Let us do this sacrifice.
Right. That's Arewa, the President, Arewa Youth Consultative Forum, Yerima Shetima. Thank you so much for your time on the Media News.
Thank you. Welcome. Thank you.